Taehyung's journey in the military quickly took a turn for the most part when his exceptional shooting skills came to light. His precision and calm under pressure left his fellow soldiers in awe. Despite being new to the unit, he immediately gained attention during training drills, where his steady hand and sharp focus consistently hit targets dead center. During one of the early shooting exercises, Taehyung's accuracy stood out. The distance, the wind, or even moving targets didn't seem to faze him. Other soldiers struggled to adjust to the complexities, but Taehyung made it look effortless. His fellow soldiers, initially unsure of the quiet recruit, soon began to notice and respect his talent. His skill wasn't just luck, it was backed by intense concentration. During each session, Taehyung would carefully adjust his stance, take his time to aim, and fire with a level of precision that amazed even the more experienced soldiers. Word quickly spread through the camp that there was a soldier with sniper-level accuracy, and it didn't take long for Taehyung to become the topic of admiration and conversation as time passed. His comrades found themselves looking up to him. It wasn't only his shooting that impressed them, but his humility about it. He never boasted or sought praise. Instead, he treated his skill as something he could always improve upon. This humble attitude endeared him to the soldiers, who saw in him both a talented sharpshooter and a dedicated teammate. During group training, Taehyung's prowess shone brightly. While others would occasionally miss or falter, Taehyung's hits were consistently on target. His reputation grew with each session, and soon even his commanding officers began to take notice. They saw in him the potential for something greater. A soldier with the instincts of a marksman. In live exercises, Taehyung's skills only intensified. Given more difficult targets, he demonstrated an ability to adjust for environmental factors like wind or distance in an almost intuitive way. His skill was not just mechanical. It seemed innate, something ingrained in him deeply. The respect he earned wasn't limited to his shooting. It was about how he approached every challenge in the field. The soldiers often gathered to share stories of their toughest drills and most challenging targets. Taehyung's name came up frequently, always accompanied by awe. "He never misses," they'd say, recounting tales of the most difficult shots made with the same cool precision every time. Many of his fellow recruits started seeking advice from him, hoping to glean tips that could improve their skills. Despite the rising admiration, Taehyung remained focused and grounded. He wasn't one to get swept up in the praise. He saw himself as a part of the unit, no better or worse than anyone else. This attitude, combined with his natural talent, solidified his place as not just a favorite among the soldiers, but also a respected leader in the making. Taehyung's approach to training was methodical. He would spend hours analyzing his performance, trying to refine even the smallest aspects of his technique. His dedication was inspiring, and it motivated others to work harder, pushing themselves to new limits. His presence had a way of elevating the entire unit's performance. When they entered combat simulations, it was Taehyung who often led the charge. His sharp shooting provided cover for his teammates, allowing them to move more freely without worrying about enemy fire. His ability to pick off targets from seemingly impossible distances made him an invaluable asset in every operation. During downtime, the other soldiers would often challenge each other to shoot games, trying to outdo one another. But whenever Taehyung stepped up, the tone shifted. There was an unspoken acknowledgement that none could match his level. Still, they respected his participation, knowing he never flaunted his skill but enjoyed sharing the experience with his comrades. As months passed, Taehyung became a cornerstone of the team. His comrades looked to him not just for his shooting expertise but for guidance in other areas of military life. His cool-headed nature under pressure, his dedication to improvement, and his willingness to help others made him an essential figure in their tight-knit group. Even the higher-ups in the military began to recognize Taehyung's potential. He was called in for special assignments that required more than just basic skills. His precision in the field became something the entire unit relied on. His shooting wasn't just accurate, it was reliable in the most high-stakes situations. As the soldiers bonded, they shared in Taehyung's successes. Every time he hit a particularly challenging shot, there was a shared sense of pride among the unit. They felt fortunate to have someone of his caliber with them, Knowing his skills could turn the tide in any mission they faced, in return, Taehyung took on the responsibility with grace. He knew his comrades counted on him, and he never took that lightly. His work ethic remained unmatched, and he continued to push himself to be even better, always striving for perfection, even in areas where others thought he had already mastered. The admiration for Taehyung wasn't just about his shooting skills, but also about the character he showed. He was never arrogant, always quick to help his fellow soldiers improve their own skills, offering pointers with patience and kindness. His genuine care for his team made him even more respected. During difficult missions, Taehyung's calm demeanor under fire was invaluable. When others might panic or hesitate, he maintained his focus, picking off threats with unerring accuracy. His presence in the unit became a source of comfort and confidence for the others. In time, he became something of a legend among the new recruits. Stories of his sharpshooting prowess were passed down, sometimes exaggerated, but always carrying the truth that Taehyung was the best shot many of them had ever seen. His reputation transcended the regular confines of the unit. Taehyung's humility was his greatest strength. Despite the growing mythos around him, he remained the same soldier who was dedicated to his craft and loyal to his comrades. This balance between skill and humility set him apart, earning him the respect of not just his peers but also his superiors. Every time a new challenge arose, Taehyung stepped up without hesitation. Whether it was a difficult shot or a tactical decision, his fellow soldiers trusted his judgment implicitly. His actions had proven time and again that he was not only a brilliant marksman but also a leader who could be relied on as he continued his military career. Taehyung was often requested for special missions that required his level of expertise. His reputation had spread far beyond his immediate unit, and soldiers from other divisions would come to watch him in action, learning from his impeccable technique. Taehyung's legacy was firmly cemented when his unit was tasked with a particularly dangerous mission that required pinpoint accuracy. He led the team with precision, covering their advance and taking down high-value targets with ease. It was a performance that left no doubt. Taehyung was among the best the military had ever seen. Reflecting on his time in the military, Taehyung realized that it wasn't just his shooting that made him stand out, but his ability to inspire those around him. His fellow soldiers didn't just admire his skill, they admired the way he carried himself, his unshakable dedication, and his sense of camaraderie. As his military service continued, Taehyung's name became synonymous with excellence. He had not only mastered his role, but also inspired those around him to strive for greatness. His legacy within the unit would continue long after his time in service ended, a lasting testament to his unparalleled skill and character. Through all the trials and challenges, Taehyung remained the soldier everyone looked up to. His sharp shooting, combined with his humility and dedication, made him not only a favorite among the troops, but also a symbol of what it meant to be a true soldier. His impact on his comrades would be remembered for years to come,